so there's the Toreador song for the cello, and I was doing all of the written shifts in that part, so you can go back. I know my hand's a little funky because I got bass hands, but I'm going to go through start to finish. I'm just going to talk about the rhythm, the shifts, and what you need to be practicing in this excerpt. So right off the bat, you see you're in second position extended. That just means from your normal first position, you're going to put your first finger on C natural and extend up to second finger on D, and when you reach over with your fourth finger, you should be right on the same note as your open A. So you can use your open A to check that. And see if you're in the right place. So for all of these shifts, what I would do is I would isolate just before the shift and after the shift and just play the notes out of rhythm, no bowing, just doing the shifts. It's like that first shift is from that fourth finger to the third finger. You're replacing it. So you're going from fourth finger A to another A, but with third finger now. So it's a pretty convenient shift since you're just replacing a finger. But you want to take it out of rhythm and just do the shift, just like I just did. So play the A with fourth finger, and then play the A with third finger after the shift. Check it with your open string. So you go 4, 4, 3, and just do it out of rhythm, and then you can add the rhythm back in. So quarter, quarter, eighth. I guess it's just kind of 3 bows. So you just go. I was a little bit sharp that time. And I should have a tuner in front of me while I'm doing this so that I know if I'm in tune, if I'm out of tune. Don't just trust your ears, use a tuner. But that's that first shift. And then all of these dotted rhythms, you see dotted eighth notes with 16th notes. So you're thinking 1, 2E and a 1, 2E and a 1. And that happens a lot. 1E and a 2E and a 1. So lots of these dotted rhythms. Make sure those are accurate. These aren't eighth notes. It doesn't sound like this. It sounds like this. 1E and a 1. Or 2E and a 1. So make sure those are all nice and accurate. And if you put a little bit of space in there, that's okay. But those A's in the second measure have a little space between them. So you play, you just pause your bow for a second. Instead of doing separate bows or a slur, you see those little tenuto marks right on top of the note. That means you just pause your bow, slow your speed down just a little bit, so you hear those 2 notes separately. And then we're in the third position. You don't have to extend here because that's a B flat above your third finger. And then here we have a shift in the middle of a slur. So you shift on that C natural. You're going 4, 1, 4, 1. So you have to shift up. And I let my thumb, when I go to fourth position, I just let my thumb hit the bottom of my neck. So the first finger's right on there, right on E or A on the D string, E on the G string. You want to just let your thumb drop down. So once you find third position, remember our third finger's now on A. So we go from third position to fourth position, and I have no rhythm, I have no bowing, so I'm just doing the notes in measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me do that again. I got my tuner in front of me. And then once you have that shift down, you can add the rhythm back. Then you can add the bowing back, which I believe is a down and then an up. So that's how you're going to want to practice all of these little sections of tricky shifts, tricky bowings, is you want to make sure you know the notes without the rhythm first. And it's accurate. And then you want to add the rhythm back in. And then you want to add the bow back in. So we look at this next section, it's the same idea. I would take this out of rhythm first. Okay, I know the notes, now I add the rhythm. Now I add the bow. I'm a little out of tune there. There we go. So make sure you're getting these accurately, just the notes first, and then practice the rhythms, and then practice the bows, and you can watch my bow in the beginning of this video if you want reference. But moving on to 9, pretty straightforward. You just got to make sure you're counting here because you come in on the and of 2. Starting on measure 9, you're playing 1 and 2 and 1 and is where you change your bow on high D. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and that's a B flat, so you got to reach back for that. Our key signature has 1 flat, every other note is natural. So make sure you're playing C naturals with either second finger or first finger, wherever it is, but make sure there's C naturals and B flat, so you got to reach back for that B flat. So measure 9, 1, sorry, 1 and 2 and 1 and here's the next shift. We go from an open A to a first finger G. Instead of going fourth finger G, that's kind of awkward and you have a lot of string crossings. So you go to first finger. So I would do A to G, open to 4 like you normally would. Get it in tune. Then do it with first finger. Get it in tune. And then go and add the A after that. So open 1, 3, because now we're in third position, we can play third finger A. Okay. 3. Was it the same? So we're going open 1, open, and then open 1, 3, and seeing if the A's match. Okay. And that's how I would get measure 11 to be accurate, is just checking with your open string. So now I've got that shift. Now I'm going to play no rhythm, no bows, just the notes one after another, starting at measure 10. That was alright, let me try it one more time. That was a little better. So now that I have my shift down, I'm going to add that rhythm. 1 and 2 and 1. Ooh, 1 and 2 and 1. Nice, that was pretty good. So, like I said, all of these sections, how I would practice them is just take a couple measures, just play the notes, and make sure you've got the notes and you've got your tuner in front of you and they're accurate. After you play that, add the rhythm in. After you do that, add the bowings in, because now the bowings are where it gets really tricky here. 1 and 2 and 1. Pretty good. So that's how I'm going to go through all of these sections. If you want to pause the video and practice along as I'm doing this, feel free. But after that, we just ended on third finger A. You look in the next measure, 9, 10, 11, 12. In measure 13, you see 3.5. That means this hand position is just going to go up a half step. And so your pinky on the on the G string is now on E. And that's all done in the same position, so you don't have to shift. So let's try that without any rhythm. Nice. So, after you have those notes down, we're going to add the rhythm back in. Got it. Now let's add the bow back in. A lot of these measures are down for a full measure, up for a full measure. So make sure you're getting all of these bowings correctly. You're going to be tempted to move your bow at weird times, so really practice slowly. But getting here, you just, again, have to move yourself up a half step. So if we go back all the way to 9, we're going to try out this shift between measure, what is that, 12 and 13? 12 and 13. So I'm just going to freeze on the shift and see if I'm accurate here. I intuited my hand off a half step and I just played the E, checked it, I was a little bit sharp. So maybe next time I don't go up a half step. Or I mean, don't go up as far from a half step. So we're going to move on though. We're now on our second finger's on an E. And then we go back to first position, so not too bad. And again, this is on the and of 1 that we change. So it's down, 2, up, 2, 1, and that's where you go back to down bow. 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and. Ooh. So make sure you're practicing that shift, again, out of time. A little bit out of tune. That's a little far. Just a little closer. A little farther. There we go. So once you have those in tune, we'll go back to the rhythm. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and. That was alright. And then you'll add the bow once you have it. Obviously don't go this quickly, but I'm going to add the bow. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. And that's how you're going to want to practice all these sections. Again, it's just take it out of rhythm. Make sure you've got the notes. But after you go to first position, B flats in extended 1. That's kind of a hard part. And what is that? And the last line, 1, 2, 3 to third measure, that last line there. We're in first position for all of this, but that's 2 string crossings in a row. So, sorry, Mrs. Barron's doing some weird stuff in the background. But you want to make sure you're doing that, doing that again, without the bowing, without the rhythm. Then add the rhythm. Then add the bowing. Sorry. And then this last part's probably one of the trickiest shifts. So you want to make sure here, again, you're getting your thumb down to the bottom of the neck. Just drop your thumb there, and your second finger should be right about on a B flat. And it's kind of hard to hear that. So I would use a tuner this entire time to make sure you're in the right place. And then the last 3 notes, 1 for A, 4 for G, 2 for F natural. So out of rhythm. Try that again. Made a little adjustment there, sorry. Then put the rhythm back in. Now it's a little bit sharp there, so I'm going to try it again. Cool, and then we'll add the bowing. And again, take this slowly. Slow enough where you're being successful consistently. If you're making a mistake over and over, slow it down, make it easier, do something so that you're successful before you move on. So, hopefully that was clear enough. Again, I'm not a cello player, so I'm doing my best. I'm pretty sure all of that is accurate, but make sure you know where your fingers are going. You practice that shifting slowly and with a tuner, and that if you got any questions, just shoot them our way. Leave a comment on this video, leave a Google Classroom comment, whatever you want to do. Send me a remind. If you're confused or you want clarification, I know I went a little quickly through that, but if there's anything you should take away from this video, it's that you need to play these notes alone, without any rhythm, without any bowing, and make sure they sound in tune, make sure they make sense, and then go back and add the harder stuff. But the very last thing I want to go through is, I just want to mention the style of this piece is pretty smooth and connected. So make sure that you're connecting your bow as much as possible. I know I didn't do the best job of demonstrating that, but throughout all these passages, don't let a lot of space get into your playing. connect the bow. Sorry. No space there. That's not going to be smooth. So all of these long notes have to go somewhere. Like at 9, go somewhere with it. 2 and 1. That was out of tune. Here 2. Go somewhere. 3, 4, 1. And then decrescendo to the end. So add vibrato, add crescendos, go somewhere with your long notes and keep it smooth, and you'll have no problem. So yeah, practice this. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you later.